Are you looking to take eye care to the next level? Do you want to make sure that every patient that walks through your door, you have the right tools and resources to help preserve their vision? Are you having conversations about screen time, conversations about dry eye? And for the ladies, are you talking to them about their lashes and their cosmetics? On today's podcast, we have an expert that understands how to really educate and communicate with our patients. And my goal is to learn as much as I can, but also share the wealth with you out there as well. Friends and family, I'd like to welcome our friend, our family, the number one optometrist out there in my eyes, Dr. Pam Theriot. Let's go. This is a Defocus Media production. What's up, everyone? It's your favorite optometrist, Dr. Darryl Glover.
And I'm Dr. Jennifer Lyerly, resident optometry nerd.
And welcome to Defocus Media, optometry's number one podcast, where we discuss the hottest topics, latest technology, eyewear, practice management, and more. So sit back, relax, and defocus. What's up, everyone? It's your favorite optometrist, Dr. Darryl Glover. Super excited to be here with my friend Pam. When I think about eye care and I think about dry eye and I think about the greats in eye care, Pam, your name comes to the top, my friend. How are you doing today?
Great. I'm so honored to be here with you. It's so fun to enjoy your podcast.
Well, I'm super excited to have you here today because you're just a wealth of knowledge. The things that you have done in eye care are just unmatched. There's so much that you have done from a patient side, but also from an ECP side. Today, I'd really like to dive deep in your mind and just get all those great gems that you have and share them with our colleagues out there. Because some of us need some help, especially in the dry eye space and the doctor-patient communication space. So if you're game, let's go ahead and get this party started.
Let's dive in.
I love it. Now, I think it's very important to always start with the basics, right? You know, if you don't mind, maybe just sharing a little bit about your background, where you went to school, how did you fall in love with this amazing profession known as optometry? Let's take it back to the beginning, if you don't mind, my friend.
Back to the beginning would be 12-year-old Pam getting her first pair of eyeglasses. They were lavender, in case you're wondering. It's so cool. I was 12, and I got my first pair of eyeglasses. My mom drove me home in her Volvo station wagon, and I got out of the car.
Hold on. Volvo station wagon.
Volvo station wagon.
I grew up in a Volvo as well. We had a 240 all black. It looked like an RV tank, and we used to go everywhere in that thing. So little did I know we have something in common there, my friend. For sure.
Maybe our moms would be friends for sure. They're Volvo station wagons. My mom loved hers. So I get out of the Volvo and I'm standing in the driveway and I'm looking across the street with my lavender glasses on and I'm thinking I'm super cool. And then I go, oh my God, I can see the leaves on the trees and I can see the street sign at the end of the road. And in my 12-year-old mind, I said to myself, if I could do this for other people every day, I would be fulfilled, right? That would be the greatest job, to be able to give people the gift of sight. And from that moment on, I wanted to be an eye doctor. And I went to college. I went to Rice University, which is in Houston, Texas. And I got an internship or a summer job at the eye bank, which is where they, go and gather the corneas.
Yeah.
It was in the Department of Ophthalmology, kind of owned the eye bank at the medical school across the street, which was Baylor College of Medicine. And so I started working at the eye bank. I started running around to morgues and hospitals in the middle of the night, collecting corneas from donors who, graciously donated them to the Lions Eye Bank. And I was the harvester. I harvested corneas. And so that was my college job. But I just wanted to do anything in eye care. It was like, I had to get into the Department of Ophthalmology and I had to start learning about eyes. And after that, I decided I really did not want to go to medical school. I didn't want to cut on people. I didn't want blood. And I said, nope, I am going to be an optometrist. And then I'll be able to deliver my childhood dream of giving people the gift of sight, because I believe that our vision is our number one sense, right? And protecting that vision is what I want to instill in our patients.
I love it.
Right? I'm going to take a side note down the gruesome part of optometry. And you know how we get our patients, like they're all set, they're seeing 2020, 2015, they got their glasses, they got their contact lenses, and you see them back the next year for a follow-up, and they tell you either, oh, I lost those glasses like 2 days after you gave them to me, or, oh, these are the same pair of contacts, I'm still wearing them from that visit. Like, have you heard these things in your
Yes.
practice, Darryl? Right?
Yes.
Patients tell you the most disgusting things. Well, I just decided that I've heard enough. Like I only want patients to love their eyes, take care of their eyes. And how could I make it easy for patients to understand that if they did some simple things every day, they'd be able to protect their vision? Because wearing the same pair of contact lenses for 12 months without ever taking them off, and have you heard that ever?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
You're like, oh my God, do you want to go blind? Do you not respect your body? Do you all the things? So that's kind of when like my breaking point of like I need to get out there and tell people that they need to take care of their eyes.
Yeah. And now everything makes sense. Your passion for eye care honestly is unmatched. And I could see at an early age of 12, this has been cooking up the whole time. And that's why you're so passionate about eye care. And now it makes sense in regards to why you're so adamant about, giving education to the patients, giving education to the doctors to make sure that that entire patient journey is seamless, but also very impactful. So I want to say thank you for all the great work that you have done. And I also want to say thank you for really, being a pioneer in the game when it comes to just eye care and dry eye in general. And I want to dabble in dry eye, but before we get there, I really want to talk about how strong of a communicator you are when it comes to public awareness. You had the opportunity to do a TED Talk, and I would love to know, how did that take place? How did you get that opportunity? How did you develop confidence to be able to get in front of people and communicate? Let's just kind of break that down and maybe even touch on what the communication was about, if you don't mind, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. So the TED Talk. I decided that was the next step in my journey. In 2018, I published a book for patients called Alleviate Dry Eye. So that's available on Amazon, and it really kind of walks patients through like an 8-week process of learning how to take care of their eyes so that their dry eye symptoms are alleviated.
Yeah.
And so it was 2024, and I was like, I am not ready to write another book. I don't have another book in me right now, but I wanted to get on an international stage that would really elevate that message that taking care of our eyes is important. And so I decided that the TED stage would be the way to do it. And I didn't know this at the time, but 2024 was the 40th anniversary of TED.
Oh,
and
wow.
I had no idea it had been around so long.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I joined a course. When I decided to write a book, I joined a course that taught you how to write from blank page to published novel in 90 days. And it took me 6 months, and I thought I'd failed, but my book is available on Amazon. And so I joined this course to do a TED Talk. And one of the things that they teach you in this course is that you're going to have to apply to, on average, 100 stages before you get your stage.
Oh,
and
wow.
So last summer, I sat my butt in the chair, and every Saturday morning, I was like, I'm going to do five applications. At the end of the summer, I'd done about 60. And I hadn't had any response yet. And I was like, that's fine. That's okay. But I'd kind of like reached the list of all the TED Talks that I knew about in my course. They feed you a list of all the TEDs available. So I was kind of like done with what I could do. And Vision Expo came up. And so I was out at an event with Dr. Glover and our other great friend, Dr. Harbir Sayan. And I knew that Harbir had done a TED Talk. So I just introduced myself to him. We'd kind of like chatted online before, like leaving each other comments on social media. I never met him in person, right? And Harbir, he just blows you away, right?
Oh,
like he's an incredible guy. Like he's an honest, good, trustworthy guy. And so I just introduced myself to him, and I was like, hey, this is me. This is what I want to do. I really want to be on a TED Talk. And he said, hey, well, I know a guy. I'll introduce you to him. And I was like, okay, great. You can introduce me to him. And so like 2 weeks later, we talk on the phone and he's like, okay, well, that sounds great. Let me introduce you to my guy. And so Harbier sets it up. So I talked to this guy named George, and I'm on the phone with George, and he goes, well, I want you on my stage. And I'm like, what do you mean? Are you serious? I haven't even given you my, don't you need me to make an application? Don't you need all this thing? And he just invited me to his stage. And so 3 months later, I was on the TED stage in Canada, because Harbier's from Canada. So I flew myself to Canada, and there I was.
Wow. I love that. And what I take from this, and I want everyone to really listen to this, is the importance of really being able to network and really have, trust in your colleagues. I feel the same way about Harbier. He's just a soulful guy, just sweet, kind. He cares about the person that's in front of him. He doesn't care what he gets out of any kind of conversation or any kind of relationship. He just wants to add value to the person that's in front of him. And he's always been that way since day one, since I've met him. So I'm glad to hear everyone else is experiencing that same thing that I get from him, because it's always just a joy to communicate with him day in and day out.
And he loves optometry as much as you and I do, right?
Absolutely.
So having another optometrist on the TED stage, what I really wanted to talk about ways people could take steps every day to take care of their eyes, but apparently you cannot doctor people from the TED stage. So I was expressly forbidden for saying things like artificial tears, lid scubs, and worn compresses. Not allowed to talk about that.
Okay. Okay.
So I decided to orient my talk into the realm of digital eye strain, because all of us are on our digital devices all day long, many more hours than we'd like to admit to. And so I couched it in that reference, and then gave people, I hinted at that there were things that they could do to their eyes, but I didn't say any of those things from the stage. And then I was able to talk about things that they could do to their computer or to their digital devices to reduce digital eye strain. And I talked a bit about blinking and why blinking is important for our eyelids and our meibomian glands. And I didn't use meibomian glands specifically. So trying to take the doctor jargon out of it all, but really just to get the message across that, we all use our vision every single day. It's our most important sense. And we all know how to brush and floss our teeth, and wouldn't dream of leaving the house or going to the office without brushing and flossing first. But what did you do to your eyes? Like, what did you do today to take care of your eyes? And so I really tried to put out the message that there were things that you could be doing that would help your eyes support you and your vision to make it through your workday.
Yeah, you didn't try. You made it happen. You did a fantastic job. So let's be honest. Let's be real about the situation, right? So that's fantastic. That's great. So continue the great work. I want to see you on multiple stages. So don't stop at just one. Let's see you on do this a couple of times, right? But I want to take a step back, and I want to really go back to the beginning of your dry eye journey, right? When did it click to you that you wanted to become a specialist or an expert in the dry eye realm? And because I think it's one of those things that every patient that comes to our doors experiences dry eyes. They may not know about it, but it's up to us as doctors to actually educate and communicate with them what they may be experiencing, even though they're not aware that those are symptoms of dry eyes. So I'm curious to know, when did it click for you that that was the route that you wanted to take to develop this amazing career that you have?
Right. So when I moved to New Mexico, to Albuquerque, New Mexico in 2023. So this is my second job out of residency, and my boyfriend at the time, who's now my husband, joined the military, right? And so Albuquerque was his first station, and so I moved to Albuquerque to be closer to him. And all of a sudden, I was not able to wear my contact lenses all day while I was in clinic. I would be clawing them out of my eyes on my way home from work. My makeup would be running down my face, just streaming, just irritated, trying to rub my eyes, just watering. And that was the first time I was like, oh my goodness, something's really wrong with my eyes, right? And so like I just told you, this was 2003. And I think 2003 may have been the year that Restasis launched. So we didn't, prior to this, we hadn't even had any prescription medications.
Right.
So that, I think it's kind of twofold. Like, I had to take care of myself I had to figure out what I could do to make my symptoms better, because Albuquerque is the high desert, very, very low humidity. And I just wasn't tolerating my contact lenses and my eye makeup. And so, I decided before we got on the call, I would admit this in public, that at the time I was a Mary Kay consultant. I decided that I needed to take charge of my makeup, and one of my patients was a Mary Kay lady, and so I joined Mary Kay as an optometrist in my second year of practice. I was like, and I'm going to sell Mary Kay on the side and show people how to, use their eye makeup that it won't fall in their eyes. And so I think it's kind of a blend of like why I've been super passionate about talking about cosmetics in the realm of dry eye, because my personal story was that I didn't feel comfortable in my own eye makeup, and I struggled the whole thing, tried to get all these different, maybe it's my mascara is irritating me. Maybe it was my contact lenses that were irritating me. And so I changed all sorts of things and still felt dry. Until, now we have lots of different treatments. But at the time, it really was a struggle, and I kind of streamlined things, and not knowing back then in 2003, like which ingredients were the ones that we needed to avoid in our cosmetics and which ones were okay. We didn't have that information, and now we do. So
and I love this, that you actually took your personal experience, because now with this you can communicate with your patients that I live what you're going through. I understand what's going on. You can truly have that empathy and that compassion, and that hits differently in patient care. Patients are looking for that, especially in today's society with all these instant things they see online that they can grab. They want a doctor that understands their story. So I'm pretty sure that makes it easier to communicate in that exam lane with your patients.
For sure it does. Yep.
So I want to circle back to ingredients in makeup and cosmetics. You had mentioned that earlier. If you don't mind, maybe sharing some of the toxic things that we may find in makeup and things that we should look for when we're having communication with our patients in regards to makeup. Because as a male, as a guy, as a man, sometimes that communication doesn't come off right whenever I say it. So I'd love to hear how you're phrasing these questions, or, buzzwords that you're using when it comes to discussing makeup and its ingredients as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think one of the things I like to do is, after I've looked at a patient in the slit lamp, is if they do have really long lashes or usually if they're long, they have really nice looking lashes, I'll just comment on them. I'm like, wow, Mrs. Jones, your lashes look really great. Do you use a lash serum or a growth enhancement product? That way I kind of like get to the root right away and go, oh yeah, I've been using Latisse for 2 years. Or I use this specific mascara. And so then I lean in and I go, oh, which mascara is it? And they'll show me, or they'll pull it up, and then I can be like, okay, let's look at the ingredients. And they're like, okay, this one has a prostaglandin in it. It's pro-inflammatory. Now you're putting something that's going to cause inflammation all around your eyes every single day. Let's talk about something else you could do that would be a healthier alternative. And I know as an optometrist, we all know what prostaglandins do. Every single one of us prescribes a prostaglandin every day for glaucoma. And so we've kind of convinced ourselves that it's okay to have inflammation around the eyes when our patients could otherwise lose vision. But for patients that are just trying to enhance their lashes, there's so many other ways to go about it. So I think that's the first one, is that I'll just make a comment about how nice their lashes look, or maybe how long they are is another way to start that conversation. Wow, your lashes are really long. Are you using something? And then we carry in my office, I started carrying probably, I don't even know if it's five different products cosmetic wise that we carry in the office, but it's about that. We carry a lash enhancement serum that is prostaglandin free, an eye makeup remover, a mascara. Mascara happens to be the most prevalent eye makeup that women use. If they're going to use an eyeshadow or an eyeliner, they definitely have mascara on first. So some women only wear mascara, and so I would say that's the most prevalent one. So then as the conversation goes on, I'll say, we have a lash enhancement serum here. We also have a makeup remover. We have a mascara. If you want to start swapping out for products that are going to be nourishing to your eyes or healthier for your eyes. Those are a lot of the terms I like to use instead of shaming them for what they have been using is like, oh, this is a healthier alternative.
Yeah. I love that approach because I do, honestly, I feel like sometimes when I have these conversations, I'm beating them up, right? It's like, I want to come off as, what, this is what I see. This is a better option for you. And I feel like sometimes it's just like, boom, 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 right? And I've even had some women come back the following year and they're like, Dr. Glover, you're going to be so proud of me. I'm like, wow, what's up? I didn't wear any makeup today. And I'm like, no, I want you to come in your natural state. So I feel like a failure because they didn't come how they naturally are when they're outside of the office. So I love that you use words like pro-inflammatory, right? I love that you said nourishing, because these are things where you can show the bad side, but also the sweet side and be able to bring it together to just make it a better experience in general. So I really appreciate you sharing, how you have that communication, because I know there's a lot of doctors out there like me, not just us guys. I'm pretty sure there's some women out there that's doing the same thing as well.
Right. I think also just putting it to their eye health. You don't want to make a comment about, well, I don't like your makeup, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the way that you're applying your makeup is unhealthy. And especially I am like, fingers on the chalkboard. If I see somebody with tight lining, they put their eyeliner on the water line or cover up their meibomian glands. I can't hold back. Like I have to say something and say, your makeup looks beautiful, but did you know that when you place your eyeliner on the water line, you're actually covering up your oil glands? And if the oil can't come out, then your tears are going to evaporate and your eyes will feel dry more readily. And I think putting it straight onto your ocular health is at risk. Is a wake-up moment for them.
I'm a master when it comes to that part. That's easy. It's the lashes where I have the difficulties at times. And the thing that helped me tremendously, and this is a plug for all the guys out there, is having an external camera, because I can actually show them clogging the meibomian glands, and I can actually show the makeup being secreted into the tear film, and then that hits a little differently as well. But with the lashes part, I've struggled with that, but you gave me some great gems on that end, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, if you take a picture of them with their eyes closed and they can see where it's attaching, and you get those crusty little blepharitis collarettes and all the crust around them, they will freak out.
Yeah, that's the one thing. They do freak out, especially if you start talking Dividex and all types of stuff, right?
Right.
That's like a complete 180. Now, let me ask you this while I have you on the call today on the show. I always see hypoallergenic. I always see natural. I always see paraben-free. What's your thought of all these different things that's out there in regards to marketing? Is it truly marketing, or should we really lean into some of these buzzwords that a lot of these cosmetics are using?
I think it's clearly clickbait, because in the general population, women will know parabens are bad, phthalates are bad. Like they know they should stay away from that. So they have their mascara or their makeup remover and they slap on paraben free, and people flock to it. They're like, oh, well, this one's good because it's paraben free. But that doesn't mean there isn't alcohol as the preservative in there now, and now you're rubbing your makeup remover wipe with alcohol all over your eyes, that the product is actually, even eye safe. I like to use the word clean, and TFOS Dues 2 has now coined eye safe products to indicate that all of the ingredients that TFOS pulled out in their lifestyle workshop, that all of those ingredients need to be removed from the packaging or removed from the ingredient list to be eye safe. And so clean and eye safe are terms that I use. I've always kind of hated dermatologist approved or ophthalmologist approved, and as like just as like straight up, like that's the moniker they're gonna hang their hat on, because you could get one ophthalmologist to say, oh yeah, that stuff is that prostaglandin, that's great to put all over your eye, just smear it in there, you only need one. But recently there has been some great clean eye safe brands that have been developed by ophthalmologists and optometrists that are now on the market, and I truly do hang my hat on those products because they have taken the time to go through the ingredient list and really make sure that all of the ingredients were safe. So it depends on the brand that says ophthalmologist approved on it before I try it.
Well, let's get into some brands. Do you have some brands that you strongly recommend in the practice that you can share with our colleagues?
Yeah, exactly. My favorite mascara, there's actually a couple of mascaras that are out there now. My favorite one currently is by Eyes Are the Story, but 2020 Beauty and We Love Eyes, all three of them have mascaras that are eye safe. And I have a couple of eye makeup removers. So I'm kind of an eye makeup remover junkie because sleeping in your eye makeup is like the seventh deadliest sin to me. It's like sleeping in your contacts, sleeping in your makeup. Can't do them in my clinic. I will call you out. And so I brought a couple. This one is by Optace.
Yeah.
We all know that brand, right? This is their eye makeup remover. It is a negatively charged water that pushes the makeup from your skin and it pushes it off of your skin so that you're just able to easily remove it with a cotton ball. It also has hyaluronic acid and panethanol in it. So a moisturizer for the skin to build water. And then this one is by Lumify Eye Illuminations Bausch & Lomb. It's a micellar water, which micelles will surround the makeup and make it easier to remove from the eyes.
So I was going to ask you, what does that mean? Because that's another big buzzword that I see on a lot of products. And I'll mention, makeup removers to my patients because we actually carry the B&L product in my practice.
Yeah.
And they'll say, oh, mine has micellar water already built into it. So I'm like, oh, okay. I guess my question for you is, are all of those made the same or is there different levels to micellar?
So, yeah, I would really have them check the packaging because before this one came on the market, I have a makeup remover handout that I give my patients. And I wanted to put stuff that they could maybe find at the pharmacy and on the makeup remover list. And so I went to my local pharmacy and every single one of them had a PEG, a polyethylene glycol, or an EDTA, something on the no-no list of ingredients. And so there wasn't one on the market that was eye safe until Bausch & Lomb came out with this guy. And so, yeah, micellar is very gentle. That's why it's so popular. Is if you have sensitive skin, you can use micellar. And it does take off maybe a little bit heavier makeup because it does have those, micelles are oily. And so they pull that off. Whereas this one is the negatively charged water. There's no oil in this one. And so it would be good for people who have oily skin or sensitive skin. Anyway, they're just two of my favorites, go-tos to give patients to make sure that they have something that they can remove their eye makeup with.
I love this free game that you're giving us because now I have talking points when I go into that exam room and I can actually communicate with the ladies and understand what they're talking about when they're coming towards me, right? So that's a game changer. I also think this is also a great opportunity for my doctors out there. If you're looking at making sure that your patients have exactly what they need, you can carry these products in your offices, right? Partner with these companies that are out there, whether it's Optace, B&L, whoever it may be, and get their products into your practice. That way you can make sure that the patient has exactly what they need. Then also that's another revenue generator as well. So both parties really win. So it's a great opportunity to have these options in your product, in your practice as well.
Absolutely. And I think the problem is that when you and I were in optometry school, none of this was part of the curriculum.
Right.
But that is now changing. I had the pleasure to write 2 chapters of a new dry eye textbook that'll be available, I believe, in 2026. So I wrote the 2 makeup chapters of this dry eye textbook. And super. I'm hoping that in 2026, they'll start putting it into the curriculum in optometry schools. There'll be so much more diving deeper into dry eye that'll be available to students. And they'll learn this from the get-go.
I love that. We need that. We needed that like yesterday, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, one thing I've noticed is that in the States, we tend to fall behind when it comes to banning ingredients and makeup. But abroad, it seems like they do a better job of that. Do you know the reason behind that? And do you have any data or stats you can share with us in regards to what that looks like in the States versus outside of the States?
Right. So the problem in the United States is that cosmetic products aren't under FDA scrutiny. They're not FDA approved. And so before 2024, you could just make a product in your kitchen, package it, and sell it. It really didn't matter what you put in there.
Wow.
There were 11 ingredients that were banned from being in a cosmetic product, but other than that, there really wasn't too much restriction. In the European Union, it's like 1,500 ingredients that are banned. And so, utilizing their standards, some makeups have decided that they're going to step out of the box and they're going to use European standards before they put their stuff on the shelf in the US. But, those companies are fewer and further between. So, in 2024, the Modernization of Cosmetics Reform Act, MOCRA, came out, and so that the USDA would then start playing a bigger role in how they look at cosmetics. And so I don't know. I don't have a cosmetic product myself, so I don't know how that has affected getting products on the market yet. But I think it's been a year now, so maybe there is a little bit more scrutiny in the ingredient list.
Gotcha.
I'm hoping.
Well, I'm curious to pick your brain on what you think the future of eye care looks like with cosmetics and dry eye management. Because when I'm hearing you talk, what I'm thinking of is why not come up with a makeup that also treats and manages dry eyes, right? Something that people put on, women, men, whoever it may be, put on every single day, and they're going to do that. Is there an opportunity to put some kind of therapeutic in that product to manage the dryness or to, grow those lashes that are healthier instead of the prostaglandins? So I'm curious to know, do you know anything about that, or what are your thoughts in regards to what you see in the future of this space?
Right. So I think that would be awesome and excellent. I think that the Optace brand has made an eye cream with hyaluronic acid that will, penetrate and help the skin around the eyes. And so your patients can put that on before and after makeup, before makeup in the morning and once they take it off at night. So, and that does have some clinical studies to show the effects on the skin. Yeah. But I don't know of any makeup that is out yet that is, helpful to the ocular surface itself. Yeah. I know personally, I stopped wearing eye makeup that contained toxic ingredients back in 2018. And I have seen a difference in my own lashes, my own skin tone since eliminating all of those toxins. And as I told you earlier, back in 2003, I began to have signs of dry eye and struggled with it a lot over the years. But removing the toxins that were going to hang out around my eyes all day long has really made a difference in the way my eyes feel. And, my patients too, because I get them all on this clean beauty regimen when they come into my office.
I love it. I love it. So you've dropped so many gems today. I've learned so much about you. I mean, we went from TED Talk stages to conferences to networking to understanding how to communicate about false lashes to cleaning the lashes to making sure we don't put makeup on the waterline to the best removers, right? So much game. But this is a lot of content. If my colleagues could do one thing tomorrow when they step into that practice, what would it be?
Well, I think the easiest way to start this conversation with your patients is to give them a handout to, say, okay, you can take this home with you. And so over the years, I've developed a really robust handout. And often when I lecture about ocular surface disease and cosmetics, people come up to me and ask. So I've made one that's non-branded so that, the one I use in my office has our logo all over it. Right. But I took it all off and I took it non-branded it. It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with my office. And I would love for anyone listening to your podcast or watching this video to be able to download that. So I put it on my website at Pam Theriot, PamTheRiot.com/defocus. So if you go there and you know that you heard the Defocus podcast, Defocus, you can download this handout, which it can be repurposed or just given to your patients straight away. It's got some of my favorite makeup removers, mascaras, all sorts of things on there. It has a list of all the ingredients that the Tear Film and Ocular Surface Society highlighted in their lifestyle report that would have a negative effect on your patients. And I'd love to share it with you guys, and so that you could pass it forward to your patients.
I love it. And we'll also add that to the companion post as well. So everyone out there, go to that website, check it out on Defocus Media, and we'll make sure that you have everything you need to be successful in that exam lane. I appreciate you just making life so much easier for us as clinicians. There's some experts in the game, and you're definitely one of them. And again, I can't thank you enough for all the fantastic work that you have done. I'm curious to know, when it's your time to retire, your time to retire your phoropter, what do you want to be known for in the game of eye care? Because you've done so much already that I'm curious to know, like, what impact, what legacy do you want to leave behind?
I hope that I instill in patients that if they learn to take care of their eyes today, their vision will last them a lifetime.
That one hit me right here. I love that so much. And for all my colleagues that are out there that are listening, if they do want to partner with you, maybe consult or something, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
I'm all over LinkedIn at Pam Theriot. I'm on most social media, so reach out to me there. And my website, my personal website that has my book and my makeup remover guides and all sorts of stuff, that's just www.pamtheriot.com. You can find me there and email me straight from the site. I'd love to connect.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with me today. This has been an explosive conversation. Tons of great information. I'm ready to get into that exam lane tomorrow and kick some butt. So I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity. And together we can change eye care. But we got to learn from each other. And that's exactly what you did for us today. You gave us the right gems, the right tools to be able to go into that exam lane tomorrow and make a difference. So thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
No doubt. Stay healthy, stay positive, stay blessed. And until next time, peace.
Hey, family. If you enjoyed this full podcast, don't miss out on more engaging content. Check out the next episode right here. And for the latest updates, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Your support means the world to us. Catch us in the next episode. Peace.